All right, so I have I have 4 topics that I want to address. Um, Before I tell my story, I'm going to tell you guys what the 3 topics are. I keep saying 3, 4. One is domestic violence. One is getting over your situation and moving forward. The other is your purpose in life. Hi. And just some closing tips at the end. Oh, the spider webs out here, y'all. Hey. All right, so far, a lot of the people that has joined already know me. If there is anyone on here that doesn't, my name is Tammy. It is not Tippy. That goes for one of y'all questions. And I've struggled with trauma. I've struggled with depression, anxiety, stress, feeling confused, feeling alone. And these are not things that you're born with. Obviously, you go through something, and then these are the traits you pick up. At the age of 17, my parents and I, and of course my siblings, moved to Atlanta. We were expecting to have a better life, and I say better life because the one we left in New York was full of domestic violence. As children, we had to experience my mom being abused. We had to experience verbal abuse. And then we had to go to school knowing that my mom had just gotten in a fight with my dad the night before. Or my mom has a broken arm. Or my mom has a black eye. It affects your children in a way that you can't forget it. Yeah, we're taught to forgive, move forward, let it go, but certain things that happen to us, you cannot forget. And so we would carry these things and throughout our school years. We were in elementary. This was our life back in New York. It was constant abuse. It was constant controlling situations. I wasn't allowed to wear tight jeans. I wasn't allowed to paint my nails. I wasn't allowed to go out with my friends. Things that teenagers were able to do at a teenage life. Sorry, my car is blowing away. And so we tried to leave that life behind. And I know you guys see the title that says, basically, my mom killed my dad. We're all human, so instantly you judge. If you don't know the story, you're going to judge. So I know a lot of people read it and said, wow, like, why did she do that? Or her mom is evil. Hi. But that wasn't the case. My mom is a loving mom. My mom is so sweet. If you ever met her, if you guys know her, she's to herself. She's extremely quiet. She's very beautiful. She was an amazing mom. She still is. She just got to the point where she was tired. And that's a lot of what we feel. We're all tired. And sometimes when you're tired, you reach your breaking point. And when you reach your breaking point, you make irrational decisions. And you think you respond with your feelings and your emotions. And then you end up doing something in life that you can't never take back. So back to my move to Atlanta with my family. My father's plan was to come out here and start his own business, building a boxing gym. And we had that going on. Everything was all well in the beginning of living in Atlanta in 2007. We got to Thanksgiving. Everything was great. And then from there, my dad demeanor changed, his behavior changed. He started to become this angry person all over again, the one that we was reminded of in New York. So in our heads, meaning myself, my oldest brother, my youngest sister who was 8 at the time, and my mother, we all confused because we're like, well, Dad, you moved us here because we were going to change our life, but then you brought back a behavior and now we're confused. So we started to hear the arguments more. We started to hear the verbal abuse more. And then it was just one day that my mom had a conversation with my dad, and it ended up turning into a confrontation between them. That confrontation led to her getting her arm broken. That confrontation led to her having a black eye. And then it led to her leaving us. So we were here in Atlanta. I moved here. And my mom is gone. So I'm in school. My siblings in school. And my mom, she's nowhere to be found. So I get a call from my dad, have I seen my mom? No, I'm in school. I get home and she's still not there. My mom pretty much ran away as an adult. And at that point, everything that we felt, everything we tried to get away from in New York, it came right back. So the circle came right back. The cycle came back. The abuse came back. Finally, my dad literally went to go hunt my mom down and see where she was. He finally found her. I don't know how. And then she came home. And when she came home, she wasn't herself. She was to herself more than being herself. She didn't interact with her children. She sat outside on the patio every day. And she just wouldn't speak. She would cook, but it was like, man, this ain't my mother, Moms know how to cook. It wasn't that. It wasn't made with love, as we would say. It was just dry. Everything was dry. And from then, it was one weekend where we decided to go out. My parents decided to go one way, and then my siblings and I decided to go to catch a movie. We went to catch a movie. We came home only to find our parents aren't there yet. So they had went out. They hadn't came back home as of yet. My mom comes into my room at 4 a.m, and she's telling me to call my dad because he didn't come back with her. And me, I'm just like, Mom, no, you do it. Why I gotta do it? I'm asleep. And from there, I'm just like, what? I don't understand what's going on. She comes back into my room. It's now 6 a.m. Call your dad. He's still not home. Well, Mom, didn't you leave with him? How don't you know where he is? So now I'm up. It's 6 a.m. I'm up. I'm trying to call my dad. His phone is going to voicemail. This was a day before Christmas Eve. And my dad did not show up for the rest of that day. We didn't think nothing of it. We were just like, oh, he'll be home tonight. No, he didn't show up. Okay. Now it's Christmas Eve. If it's one thing about my father, he's there every single holiday. He's there on Christmas. He's there on New Year's. He's there on Christmas Eve. We were allowed to open our Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve, so why would he miss that day? That ain't make sense. And then from there, we're just like, okay, what's going on? He would never do this. Now it's Christmas Day. He would absolutely never do this. And another thing about my dad, he loved his children, and everyone knows that. We had everything. We went on trips. Anything that I've ever been exposed to that was positive in life was from him. All the things I didn't understand, that you can't wear these tight jeans, you can't do, I get it now. But at the time, I didn't understand, so I would think, oh, he's the meanest dad in the world. But now, I get you. And I wish I could tell him, I get you. I understand now. But him not showing up on Christmas Day, that's not right. That's not my dad. My mom, the whole time, still this like extremely off person. She's to herself. She's in a daze. She's telling us, don't worry about it. She's trying to cuddle with my little sister. Like, come on, lay in the bed with me. And just being weird. And as kids, we're like, why aren't you concerned? This is our father. Like, why don't you care that he's not here right now? Well, she didn't care because she knew where he was the entire time. She knew exactly where he was the entire time, but she couldn't portray that to her children. So we're just stuck as kids, as a teenager, 17. Me, 17. How old was my little brother? I think he was probably 12 or 11. My sister was 8. I probably got that wrong, but y'all get the point. They were children. They were babies. So imagine babies like, where's dad? Where's dad? Where's dad? Y'all got kids. Imagine y'all kid questioning, where's mom? Where's dad? And the other parent is just blank. We went on a mission to find my dad. I mean, my oldest brother and I, we went on a mission. We went through contacts. We're calling people like, oh, who's this person? We've never heard of this person. Let's call, let's see. We finding address. We looking at these addresses and we're like, oh, let's go to this person's house. Maybe they know something. I don't know. Did he get caught up in something? Did something happen at the club when they went out? Like, what's going on? But my mom, the whole time, she knows. And she's not saying anything. So from there, after Christmas, we filed a missing police report. And 2 days after that, detectives came to our house. And they told us that they found my dad. And he was located in College Park in the back of his truck with a bullet through his head. It almost looked like a robbery because everything in his car was on the floor. I want to say his ID or his wallet. My mom had that. I'm not too sure. But it was set up like a robbery, like someone robbed my dad. And he got killed because he fought back. But then when they explained the way the bullet was, nothing made sense. My dad was in the back seat of his truck. And so we're just steady trying to understand what they're trying to tell us. Like, okay, if he's sitting in the back seat of his truck, how did he get shot from behind? There was no bullet through the glass. Oh, someone was sitting behind him and shot him that way. Who's the someone? We don't know yet. Okay. From that, of course, when something like this happens, detectives come to your family. They want to see, they want to say, oh, maybe you did it for life insurance. Maybe the wife did it for life insurance policy or whatever. And they just start making up things. We were interrogated. And as I say again, we were children, kids, babies. Imagine my little sister, 8. Where were you? Me. Where were you that night? And then they're constantly coming back to your home. Well, we didn't see this, so that doesn't make sense. Constantly trying to make us confess to something that we don't have any idea. We're just as confused as you guys, and you are the detectives, and we don't know. But my mom knew exactly where he was. So, a funeral was planned, of course. My mom sat at the funeral. She sat at the funeral, and she was blank once again. As we just crying and mourning and just trying to understand who did it, why it happened, nothing. Now we get back to Atlanta, and the day after arriving in Atlanta, my mom confessed. And so we wake up to a living room full of detectives and like a squad, and they're telling us come with us, but they're not there. My mom is on the outside with them. She's in the car. She's about to go. But these people are telling us to come with us. You guys have to come with us. You guys have to come down to the police station. And we're like, why? For what? So, again, as children, we sat in an interrogation office for 13 hours with no indication to what happened, to what's going on, or why we even here. They give myself and my oldest brother a paper, and this paper is for us to write our statements and tell them what happened, where we were. Fine. Okay, we don't have no problem with that. We'll do it. But why are we here? They grab my oldest brother and say, hey, come to this room with us. Whole time my mom is in that room. He goes into the room, and he comes back out and he says, yo, just like that, yo, mommy confessed. Confessed? To what? She said she did it, yo. What do you mean? She did it, yo. What do you mean? Go in there. She'll tell you. It's my turn now. So, Mom, what happened? I did it. I killed your father. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. I killed your father. Why? Why? It don't make sense. How? With what? Like how? With his own gun. Wait, what? How? Because I'm your daughter, I don't want to understand what you're telling me. I know how you pull a gun. I know it's not that hard. And it's already prepared because that's my dad. Like, he's going to protect his family. So you can go grab it and pull a trigger. But I didn't want to understand that. So, Mom, how? You didn't get the gun yourself. Yes, I did. I couldn't take it no more, Tammy. What couldn't you take? What? I couldn't take it. I couldn't take your father abusing me. I've reached my limit. I've reached the amount of abuse I could take. I couldn't no longer take it. Well, Mom, there was other ways you could have went about it. You could have left. You could have left. You could have never looked back. It's so many other things you could have done. But I loved your father. I didn't want to see nobody else with him. I wasn't strong enough to just leave your dad. I would always come back no matter what he did. Okay, I have nothing to say to you. And I walk out. Now I'm 18 and I'm responsible for my siblings. I'm responsible how they're going to eat, where they're going to sleep. Although we had this big house, we had a mansion. So we knew where we were going to rest. But I'm responsible. I'm responsible to take care of these children now. And it's just me. I am the temporary guardian at 18 of a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. I have to pick you up from school. I have to make sure you eat. I have to clean your clothes. I'm a parent now to children that isn't my children. My mom sat in jail for 10 years for the crimes she's committed. And I've been through so much from the time my dad was gone, taken away from me, to my mom being in prison. Do you know how it feels to be a child and don't have parents to protect you? Do you know how it feels to have your friends, your family say, y'all know something. You and your brother had a part of it. Do you know how it feels to not have no one? Do you know how it feels to have to figure out how you're gonna eat? Do you know how it feels to have to sleep on your best friend's floor? Y'all don't know that about me. Do you know how it feels to allow men to come into your life because the absent love from your dad makes you feel that every man love you? No, they don't. Do you know how it feels to get pregnant at a young age? Not your intentions, but the guidance is no longer there. And then you say, I'm gonna keep this child because if don't nobody love me, my child love me. And that's why Jalen is here. Because whoever didn't love me, Jalen did that for me. Jalen filled the missing piece. Jalen was my blessing. Jalen was my wake up. Jalen was the reason I've matured. My son helped me get through a lot of what I've been through. Because I found love. I found love again. And no matter what goes on with your parents, you want your parents to love you. No matter if your parents spanked your butt, told you you can't do this, you can't do that. You want your parents to be there to love you. No matter if you had a falling out with your mom or your dad, and y'all can relate, at the end of the day, you still love them. So guess what? My mom, she made a decision responding off of her emotions and her being fed up and her being tired. But I still love my mom. My dad, he's no longer here. He did things off of his abuse to my mom. Was his emotions, was his feelings, was him just wanting her to be for him. All of that. Not saying anything of neither one of them is right. But that's my dad. And if I could have stopped my mom, I would have. Because I love my dad. I love both of them. They're my parents. Now, that is my story. And I want to touch on, like, domestic violence, things that I know majority of women is going through. We all tend to be quiet. But when you're quiet, stuff like this happens. You make a decision like what my mom did. When you're quiet, it affects your children. When you're quiet, you left to question, is it love? Is this how love's supposed to be? This situation has affected me with everything. It has affected me, and there go one of my other blessings crying. It's affected me in a way where I would date men, and I would think, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how we love. Then it'll make me feel like we suffer from mental health. And we don't want to believe that we do, but we do. And if I could just show someone that's in a domestic violence relationship that it's not worth it. Staying with that person is not worth your sanity. It's not worth your life. It's not worth your children experiencing it. And it is not love. It can do so many things to you, as far as destroying you. And it can take your entire life. There's somebody that loves you, whether it's a woman or a man. Women hit men. That's domestic violence. You're affecting your children. If you don't have children, you're affecting your mental. It's not worth it. And if I could have showed my mom or told my mom, if I knew what I knew now, it's not worth it, Mom. Because now you don't have a connection with your children. Ooh, I'm going to save that for something else. Her being home is a whole nother topic itself. Not a bad one, but it just shows you how you can be affected by so many things. Another topic is getting over situations and moving forward. People think that you're just supposed to get over things. You can't just get over something. You can forgive, but you can't just forget it. It's an entire process to just sit there and try to get over something. You don't have to get over it when they say get over it. No. Everybody processes things differently. I am not over the situation with my parents. I'm not over it. But do I wear it? Do I let it affect my entire life? No. Half of you didn't even know this about me. Because I don't wear it. I didn't let it take over my life. And all of you have a story. All of you have a purpose. All of you went through trauma. And this is my trauma. And I'm using my trauma to reach out to another woman, another man who may have went through something and think they can't get out of it. No, you can get out of it. You can get out of it. And it's absolutely okay to get help. It's nothing wrong with counseling. People say, oh, counseling is for crazy people. All of y'all hang out with me. All of you know me. Do I look crazy? No. No, I don't. All of you can talk to me normal. All of you can get advice. All of you can, just be in my life. That doesn't make me, you don't see me looking crazy because no, get help. Get help. Get counseling. Tell your story, because if you don't tell your story, you're keeping everything that you're feeling inside. If you don't release it to somebody, guess what? It's going to drive you crazy. And I just want to show y'all me. I'm strong. I'm still breathing. I have a meal. I have meals. I have a bed. I have a fiance. I have 2 beautiful children. I am in school earning my master's degree. Don't let your story define who you are. Don't let your story be a negative definition of who you are, I should say. No. You could shine light on it and make it positive. There's so much you can do with your story. Just don't allow people to try to tell you how to tell your story. Nobody can tell me, because you don't know what I felt. You don't know what I've been through. And I didn't go full out with y'all because I got something in store for you guys to get a full out story. But I just wanted to give y'all a snippet of what I felt as a teenager and what I had to go through. Nobody can tell that story. And nobody can't tell me to get over my situation when you don't even know how high I gotta jump to get over it. Okay? And that's the same for y'all. Don't let nobody. They don't know the levels of what you've been through. If you starting here, it's going to take some practice to jump and get up there. It's going to take some healing to get up there. I'm not trying to preach to y'all. I'm just telling y'all what I feel. And it's okay to not be okay. It's okay. Y'all have to stop walking around like, I'm perfect. I don't go through that. And, I'm happy that's not me. Because everybody that think they're perfect and everybody say, I don't got to go through that and I'm happy it's not me. You know karma, right? You never know when you could be put in somebody's shoes. The same way you could be good today, tomorrow you could be in my shoes. Be nice, be kind, be understanding. Be kind, because you never know who's on the verge of committing suicide. You never know who life you might change by just saying something nice to them. Another thing, people think money is the only form of success. No. Telling your story, getting over it, accepting it, moving forward, that's success. That is complete success. Like, it's not just money. Telling your story, controlling your mental, being mentally stable, successful. You guys are looking at me. You guys are even saying, you're strong, you're strong. But it took a lot for me to get to where I am. It took a lot for me to accept my situation. It took time for me to accept my situation. It took time for me to not be ashamed. Nobody can tell you how to feel. You'll be surprised how many people is going through what you're going through, and you'll also be surprised about who's sitting right next to you and got the same situation, but you don't know because you're taught, keep your business to yourself. Nah. It's not about telling your business. It's about getting the load off. It's about you forgiving whoever hurt you. Somebody raped you, tell them, you hurt me. Somebody stole from you, tell them, you hurt me. Somebody killed somebody that you love, tell them. You gotta be able to face your problems in order to get over them. So I just encourage you all to feel free to tell your story. And don't let your story be a negative view of you. It's men I've dated, they don't even know. They don't know. They might know now. But you was with me this whole time and you never even knew that I was suffering. You never even knew that my mom did this, and you never even knew how much I felt alone. But to all of my beautiful friends and family, and you guys that's watching, I really thank y'all for y'all support, because y'all don't understand how nervous I was. I thought I was going to have to come here and have a whole book and just read it to y'all. But it actually flew. And I appreciate y'all for just wanting to hear it. And I hope I've inspired at least 2 people to accept their situation, move forward, let go. I hope I've reached out to somebody. If I can do it, you can do it. And I thank you guys for tuning in. I got some more juice for y'all. It don't stop here, because obviously I'm 29 and there's way more to tell. But I want y'all to understand how this may have affected my relationships. I want y'all to see how when you're in a home, and if it's not a healthy home, and the things your children see, how it may affect them in the long run, how they may carry it through their relationship, how they may accept things that is not healthy. So for my next live, that's what we're going to talk about, guys. And I thank y'all. And I love y'all. But I got to go to my crying baby, Nyla. If y'all have any questions for me, just send me a DM. I'm here. If anybody needs some inspiration on how I've done certain things and the techniques I've used, and who I had in my life to even help me get over things. Well, I'm real close with pastors. They help me. I have people in my life that are like, they're super, super inspirational. I have people in my life that are established. I have people that are business owners, and all of them, when they say people are in your life for a reason, my entire circle is all positive people. All of them. And they all helped me grow and become the woman that I am today. So, if you have questions, okay, only one pastor. If y'all have questions, feel free to DM me. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love y'all. I have an event coming up for women. Sorry, guys, but for women. And I will be announcing it. I will let you guys know when it will be. And I would gladly love for y'all to attend. And y'all gonna love it because I'm giving away free stuff. Yeah. So I'll see y'all next time. And thank you.